Okay, we've got some further linking or joining of words together to help with your speed. The first one is about the. So about, remember if you were writing it out in full, you'd have about and then the. So what you can do is you're linking those two T's together. So it becomes about the. This is during those. Now we looked before at during the, which can be straight up and down. For the those, we want to show the little OS for during those. This is an excellent word for phrasing. It's for example. So just a for with a little X crossed through it, for example. Example written out in full, XMPL, is too long. So if you can phrase it, makes a really good linking word. Choice for this one, you've got has been. So remember, we've got the big B, but we can reduce it just to the B. So this becomes has been. If you don't particularly like it, you can do the has and do the whole B for been. This phrase is in order to. Most people forget and they do write in order to, but you don't need to do the to. It becomes the phrase in order to. It's a little bit the same as will be able to. You're not writing the to, you're just doing will be able. You know the to naturally follows on. Really good phrase for maybe. So instead of having to do the full may and then the big B, miss out the A altogether and make the phrase maybe. Really good phrase, very common. This one is more than, so remembering that the N can be the than in a phrase. The other one we often use is rather than, instead of writing than out as a whole word. This one is on the, and this one is on these. So if it was on this, it would be on THS. And then we've got the those up here. So if we put the whole lot there, we'd have on those, on that, on this, on these. So it's a way of distinguishing between the, this, these and those. Alright, some more common phrases that you might like to use. Here we've got that, there. Now again, remember we can do the there, THR, or we can do the there, which is just cross the T through it and extend it, that there. Same principle, this is there is. You can just put there with an S, there is, or you can go there is. If you want to, you can do THRS and put the IS in for is, but that's quite distinctive. Whereas for this one here, you do have to put the IS for is, rather than just TRS, because that gives us trans. Okay, this one is these days, remembering that the TH straight down is the E, these days. This one is, this is the. So we've got your ordinary this is, and then when we have this is the, we want to put the S on the outside of the angle because we want to make it look like it has some flow to it rather than together. This one we have to write the THS on that side, and so it doesn't link the same. Whereas if we were doing an RST, then we put the S on the outside of the angle. So S is normally on the right hand side of a downstroke, so that's why we get these days. We try and put the S's, making a nice joining for this is that. This one here is to be, so rather than doing the to be, which takes a little bit longer, just to be above the line because that's where to is. Good phrase for who were. Always be careful with who because we have a will. So when we get a who, it's W-H-O. So make sure you show that little O, who were. And the last one is with the. Remembering that we do use the with when we do within, with me. We put the little vowel in, so we do put the vowel in for with the. But if we're doing with you or with us, then we can actually leave the vowel out. It makes a good joining. Now just remembering when you're doing a transcription that there's two ways of spelling there. We've got T-H-E-I-R, we've got T-H-E-R-E. Now it's the same outline no matter what the spelling is, so that's where your English skills are really important. So this there, T-H-E-I-R, is showing possession, so it's their coat or their house. This one is over there, so that's a distance. So always read for common sense before you transcribe and make sure you get the right there. Otherwise you're going to lose half a point for a spelling error.